All right, let's get straight to business. This is more practice. This is more looking at structure, paying more closely attention to structure and how the candles are structured than the actual candles. Well, you want a balance of both of them. But in cases, excuse me, in cases like this, you want to make sure you understand structure because you will see candles that you're looking for, and you'll get stopped out of your trades if you're just looking at candles. So for an example, look, check this out. Right here, beautiful bullish engulfing, right? See the bullish engulfing? You think get in, right? But see, you got in the next, and this is the weekly. Let's just pretend like this is the hour. You got in and look what happened. The market just went down on you. So it's more than just looking at these candles. It's more to it than candles. You have to look at structure where the candles are at. And rule number one that I'm starting to understand is never buy or sell in the middle of nowhere anyway. So this is the weekly. I went to a trade that you guys probably never heard of, South African Rand versus New Zealand dollar. Probably not on none of you guys' brokers, but whatever. What I'm seeing here, like I said, let's put on first things first, line graph, support and resistance. I always say this, support and resistance is the sharp moves on the line chart. They're acting as support and resistance. I put on the line chart to take away all the wicks because the wicks do not matter when you're looking at price action. Wicks can be conceiving. So here we go, a whole bunch of lines, right? All this is support, right? Let it go down just a teensy bit. Look, support, 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 even a teensy bit support right there. And look right here. Sharp move up, probably stop on it because you bought that bullish engulfing move. And look, the market went down. All right. This is the weekly too. I do this stuff on the weekly so you guys can see. You could be swing traders if you really wanted to. So this is a classic break and retest. The market support, 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 broke out, made another floor right here, but it has to come back, pull back to the retest area, and it's on its way back down. Not saying that, I mean, this could take weeks, or it could come back up here and possibly break this and come up. But if you took the sale already, you with South African Rand, New Zealand's ZAR, this was on your broker, you would be in profit right now because you would have got in right where you needed to get in. All right. So that's the first confirmation. And then you want to go ahead and put freckles in. When you start seeing freckles showing up on your support and resistance, that's giving you confirmation that is a very good support. Also, is giving you confirmations that when you're getting in this trade, if I'm starting to see this freckle, this freckle, this freckle, there's 3 freckles on this retest area. I'm getting in. And see, it reward me very good. Because now, see, if I would have got like this, if I would have did this, if I would have shorted some week and always put the stops below. Now look, I'm up. That's that's a lot of pips. Let's see how many pips that is. Where's the little thingy at? All right. What's that? 37.2. Perfect. I would have put the stop loss at break even, and this would have been a risk-free swing trade at this point. Risk-free swing trade, you can't beat that. But that's not all I'm looking for. That's just the first couple of steps. We can go back to candles, and then I'm looking at the candles. I'm looking how it break, came back up, came down. You know, I want to see. Now I'm looking at these little areas. I saw a nice support sitting at that area now. Now I'm going to go to a smaller time frame now. So now on the smaller time frame, we're doing the same thing I just did. We're going, getting lines, sharp moves. I'm seeing sharp moves right here. It's closing it out. So now I'm already in profit. What I want to see come out of this is a push down, break this support, right? It's on a daily, and I want to see a retest of the support, and I want to continue to see down movement. Just keep this trade valid. Once it start breaking up here, it's gonna come back, retest this. I ain't got time for it. Like, we already weeks into this trade. How many candles is this? I got, look how many candles is this, and that's a lot of patience, but man, like, I wouldn't even want it to break. I would like have my stop loss right here now, waiting for it to, like, every low that happens, like, okay, it came right here, dropped. I would have my stop loss right here. And then if this move happens where it actually goes there, then I'm gonna keep putting my stop loss. The higher, every time it makes a exhaustion, I'll put a stop right there. And then let's just say it comes right here. This is relatively speaking, and then that's the exhaustion. And then it makes a lower low. I'm gonna put my stop loss right there. I'm gonna keep putting there until it just closes me out, because at this point you'll be so much in profit anyway. But the target would have been down here. So it keeps going down here. That's a perfect trade. And how many times you seen this on the M15? That's what I'm saying. The same M15, same hour, same H4. You can see them on the weekly. You can see the same structure, the same diversions, the same everything. So this is just South African rand, New Zealand dollars. Let's go to another one. I know I did that fast, but the more you see this, the more it's going to become easier for you to understand what you're looking at. So this is, let's go to GBP CAD out of nowhere. Huh? I already got stuff on here. Let's remove the drawings. Let's go to the week. So on the week, we see some big bearish movement. And we even have a doji right here on the week. So obviously on the 15, you've seen it on the M15 for a very lot of times. You see dojis, and then for the week, it'll go this way, and then it'll pull back that way. Because obviously, the market wants to wick people out, or whatever these little theories y'all come up with. But that is a major support right there. Obviously, we have the sharp moves right here. It's mainly down here, but just because you see a sharp move break it doesn't look, it broke it and then pull right back up. So we're not really concerned about that. But that is the major area right there. But let's just, for the sake of argument, put that line right there. Meaning this could possibly come back still down here. But for the sake of this trade, let's do it this way. Weekly, we got a support here, right? Where's the other weekly? There's sharp moves. My eyes already see them. There's a sharp move right there. Let's go to daily now. Now that we got the weekly trade and how we got it set up, let's put this freckles in. No freckles showed up on the daily. Where's the weekly got? No freckles. There are freckles on this support. Just because it didn't touch it doesn't mean anything. It got in the area. Remember, areas, not one little line like this. I mean, you could do this, but I mean, if you want to do this, that's fine. But there's going to be times where that line does not get touched. We went through this as traders that's been trading for a long time. That line won't get touched every time. Price does not have to touch that line. All right. So at this point, we're looking for bullish behavior off this area. Don't see any freckles showing up. I see that freckle right there. So obviously that's why it pulled back right here on the daily. But we'll see how it pulled back on the daily and made a lower low. So price pushed, then it came back, and then it rejected this area right here. So we'll keep that area in mind for now. But if it keeps strong in these two areas, we got the freckles on. Let me put the freckles 240 on. There's the last low. See, the last low didn't get taken out. Since this is the last low, remember, I always preach that the last low has to get taken out or it's just going to make another low. It's going to keep going down. But let's see a nice cake. I call it a nice cake buildup. We have all these freckles on near the support, a freckle near that support. Like I said, don't be surprised if market decides to come and test this area down here. Oh, wait a minute. Right. Don't be surprised if market comes and wants to test these areas like it already did. No surprises. All right. Let's erase that. So no freckles, just freckles in the past. Let's go to H4. We're seeing some freckles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got some freckles building up. We got that area that got rejected. Some freckles right there. I'm glad we have that. So, but if this doesn't make a lower low, if this does not make a lower low and is making a good support in this area, then all those freckles will build up. And this is what's going to be anticipated. It's this move right here. So let's just use this. Let's just say this thing is a freckle. Make it red. Let's say a freckle shows up right there. Now we already know what a freckle means. The freckle is just basically you're finding market reversals. Freckle shows up right there. Next move we're looking for is to come back to test this area. And it's going to come back to test this. At this point, if it doesn't make this lower low and a freckle shows right here, you can honestly, for me, in my experience, I can only speak from my experience. Freckle shows right there. I'm getting in. I'm getting in. Excuse the phone call. All right, I'm getting in and I'm taking it up to there and I'm putting it below the freckle. I'm more aggressive. So I'm just gonna get in and take it to this next area. This next area, as you can see, freckles, retest area. A whole bunch of higher lows that needs to be taken out. There's a higher high. I'm not worried about that. I'm only looking for a lot of lower lows that need to be taken out. And then the rest of the lower lows on this retest area right here off of the weekly. That's how I would look at this. Once that freckle shows up right there, I'm getting in. No ifs, ands about it. I don't care who's watching and they disagree. I'm getting in. It goes up 25, 30 pips. I'm closing half the trade out. I'm putting it at break even. And I got me a nice little swing back to this retest area. Let's look at it one more time. See that? Support, resistance. Support, sharp move, come back. Support, all right? A little bit of resistance close to that. Don't worry. If you don't understand what I'm doing, the more you look at the videos, the more you understand that the market does this. Do this last thing, and we're going to end it. As long as you know the market makes a push up, it doesn't push up forever. It exhausts. All right. And we have another push up. And it exhausts. Hold on. Notice why I'm putting them exhausts right there on the uptrend. You'll see it. You'll see it more often than more. I'm doing this because these are the areas that you're buying and selling off of. Well, you're on the uptrend, so when it gets here, my whole idea and how I trade is when it makes this big push and it comes to exhaust the area that it was a resistance and it made a support. When it gets right here, I'm going to lower time frames. I'm looking for bullish behaviors, inverted head and shoulders, dojis, a whole bunch of fractal buildups. all the bearish bullish behavior for the next higher high. These are the moves I'm taking. I'm getting in right there. I'm doing this. All right, it's right here. I'm getting in. No ifs, ands about it. I'm taking it to the either TP1 to be where the high exhausted at, or TP2 will be the next anticipation of the high. And I'm putting my stop losses below all the fractals and all the little weird wicks. And I'm taking it like that, right? Same with the market pushing down. Push phase, right? We got the push phase. We're pulling back, right? Pushing back down, right? Then we pull back. My job as a trader is to figure out when the push phase is going to happen, when the pullback going to happen, and when the pullback will be over, and what is the next direction. That is, those three are my only job as a trader. Remember, the market moves the way the market wants to move. I'm anticipating stuff. I'm not saying this is how it's going to do. It don't have to do this. But if I get better, and if you get better anticipating the market moves, then you will have a higher probability in putting in trades. So like I said, with this on the downtrend, I'm doing this. Market push, exhausted. I need, once it does this push and pulls back, I need to make sure I can identify where the exhaustion is going to end by looking for this area, making sure that this area that it broke is retested. And when it gets to this retest area, only when it gets to this retest area, am I looking for my bearish incentives of the market to continue to push down. Then I'm taking the TP1, which is where the pullback was pulled back in the first place, and then the anticipated move will be TP2. That's all I'm doing. That's all I look for when I look for trades. And a lot of the 6% and 7% traders do this. Actually learned this from a 6 or 7% trader. Stock traders do this when they're looking for stocks. They're looking for the next move, next exhaustion, all that. Some people trade these pullbacks down here. That's cool if you want to. I want the big move, but I mean, I'll trade the pullback because that GBP CAD was definitely a pullback. But yeah, make trading easy. It could be tough at the beginning, but once you start getting the hang of what you're seeing, and you get into a point where it's burned into your subconscious, and you pick the pairs that move the way you like them to be moved, you'll be fine. All right. And that will conclude my video on finding trade setups. Peace.